Hi guys, today we're gonna be watching the fourth episode of I was gonna say season 2, but it's Nisemonogatari. It's a whole different thing. Tsukihi is in danger from what it looks like because she sent a text to Araragi saying help me, and we were assuming that it has to do with Kaiki.
That guy's sketchy. He's involved for sure.
He's gonna get himself involved. Like, I'm just expecting this. I don't know where and when, but we're expecting it right now. And without further ado, let's go and watch the next episode. This is the first time we're seeing them together, by the way.
Okay, she doesn't look like she's in imminent danger. Did she cut her hair?
No, I think she was always like that, yeah. Oh my god, oh my god, I thought that was Tsuki.
No.
That is Tsubasa. What? That is Tsubasa.
Yes.
Right? Why did she? When I started, I'm sorry. I'm genuinely so. There's 4 people in this picture, and I'm thinking that it's Araragi, Karen, and Tsuki, and I'm like, wait, who's this girl?
No, I was also a bit confused. But why did it take you so long?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't drank my coffee.
Yeah, maybe she's like reformed after, you know, like Araragi kind of like broke her heart and like went off with like Senjugahara. Maybe she's like. This is her new image, you know?
Yeah, that is what typically people do. No, though. Her hair was beautiful.
Yeah, she said, like, don't get involved in a relationship.
And there's no glasses. Oh. She knows that he's a vampire, that's why.
Even Araragi is looking at her, don't rat me out. He's like a dragon. Pretending to be good. I like how his sisters are defending him.
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, they're so cute though.
Of course. She feels so different. Why is she acting like that? What happened? Okay, she'll explain everything to Araragi.
Even his family loves her. That's what I mean by...
Damn, they're always right.
Okay, I've never thought about it like that. You only be fakes.
He's so harsh on them because he cares about them and doesn't want them to get hurt. Meanwhile, he like sticks his nose into everything. But did he always used to stick his nose into everything before having power? Maybe he's saying it from experience because when he tried to be a hero in the past, when he had no vampire powers, he would always like lose. And now that he got vampire powers, he can actually like help people because he has the power.
Oh, and the list goes on.
It's gonna keep going on, I guess. What is he supposed to refer to them as?
They're normal names. If I'm understanding correctly, because typically when people add the chan at the end, it's like for some small stuff, for childish, for cute.
I don't know. Let us know, guys.
This is how I interpret it.
I don't know.
Chan is obviously also typically it's for a younger person than you, but when you use it, most of the time it sounds like very cutesy.
Yeah, they do usually use it in like a cutesy way.
Yeah, so if he says it, he's like, my little cute sisters, Tsuki-chan and
he's embarrassed.
Karen-chan.
He's
Yeah, exactly, that's how I see it.
Let us know, guys, please. Bro is still locked up, bro. Like...
そうだね。枕の部分くらいは知ってんだよ。確か中学生の間で流行ってるおまじないの出所を探知ってるの？実は戦国から聞いた。不本意ながらうちの妹たちはカレンちゃんと月日ちゃん。
He's completely defeated.
カレンちゃんと月日ちゃんは中学生の間じゃ有名人でな。彼らの動向を聞くことくらいあるらしい。そのおまじないの被害にあったんだっけ？唯一じゃないわ。最大の被害者ではあるけど、いろいろと悪影響をもたらしているから。いろいろって？
To be fair, we also saw the snake from Sengoku arc like run away.
Okay, I'm sorry, but do you know what's going on right now? Because for a second I stopped reading the subtitles and I started reading the subtitles on the screen. I've also seen her in her underwear, but that doesn't really count either. What I want to see is what Hanekawa picks to wear when she's going out. So, like, what am I watching? From whose perspective is that? Is that Araragi?
Conversation 6 Karen B.
I don't know, but I needed to rewind because I was reading that part for a while. 意図的に流行らせたんじゃないかっていうあの二人の推測は多分ほとんど当てずっぽうみたいなものだったんだ。的外れではなかったんだね。
ちなみに
Is it crazy to like assume that Kaiki has to do with the curses like a little bit?
I think it's crazy, yeah.
You think so?
っていう質問に答えるならそうだね。夏休みに入ってからだね。お前が手伝ったんだ。つまりは犯人を突き止めちゃったわけだな。カレンの携帯電話を鳴らしたのは他ならぬ羽川翼だったのだ。みたいに言われても困るな。お前のそういうところを警戒していたよ。有能すぎて絶対に答えを見つけちゃうところ。手を抜くわけにいかないし。そうだな。例えば僕やカレンちゃんや月日ちゃんが自分の弱さを受け止めなければならないように強さを受け止めなければならない。その犯人に直談判して何かされたってわけか。現場には後から呼ばれたからその犯人に直接は会ってないんだけどね。合流できてれば力になれたとは思うんだ。
What did they do to Karen?
犯人はどんなやつだったって言ってたんだ。
Yeah, so who was it?
怪奇伝習。
Bro!
Like, why would they introduce him right before this scene?
No, exactly. He had to be involved somehow.
So it wasn't a crazy guess.
に任せて僕は風呂に入ることにした。お前戦場ヶ原とは電話でどんな会話をしてたんだ？
Oh, of course he's gonna ask.
でメールを出してでもすぐに返信がないのは変だって言うから私が電話をかけることになったの。言ってあの子たちお兄ちゃんを信頼してるんだね。どういう事情なんだろうとは思ったけどでもお前がどうやって戦場ヶ原を説得したのかって。原さんの声を聞いたら大体の状況は分かったから手短にお願いしただけ。
Dude, how smart is Hanekawa, by the way?
I don't know.
She's like super smart.
私が荒木くんに告っちゃうぞって。
That's what she told her.
What?
And she fumbled. She folded.
Hanekawa folded.
No, Senjugahara. Huh? What? I mean, I'm not complaining.
What? She just came out of nowhere.
Wow, he's showering?
Just out of nowhere.
I love this. We have never seen her speak like in Bakemonogatari.
It feels like she got smarter, like more sentient.
She's always been like that.
Usually she's completely blank in that form.
In Bakemonogatari, they were portraying her very blank. Like, we didn't hear a single word come from Shinobu's mouth. But then when we got into Kizumonogatari, we saw that she has so much personality, she has so much depth, she has so much, like, history behind her. So obviously now, in Nisemonogatari, when you compare the two, she's in the same form that she was in Bakemonogatari, but we could see
no,
her
but even
personality.
Oshino said that she's a former like shell of who she used to be.
Yeah,
so
because she was depressed.
No, for some reason now she's getting better. Now she's speaking. Like maybe she grew more powerful for some reason. That's why she's not acting so hollow.
Like I feel like the reason as into why she was hollow to begin with is because she is a person that really cares about like her ego and pride and power. So obviously that's why she was feeling depressed.
So, okay. So she was just... She got bored. Okay, so she didn't grow more powerful.
And he's happy that she's back to that, no?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but what kind of bathroom does Araragi have, bro?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, what did his parents do? Why is he living in a mansion?
Oh my god, she's eating the...
I mean, breakfast, I don't know.
Okay, so she really just decided just to speak for like, why not?
She wants her to... Oh, I thought to brush it.
Damn, she's always watching. Isn't that kind of weird?
It is, it is.
Damn. That's kinda sad.
Metaphorically and literally. In his shadow.
She's saying in a way like, include me in your like day-to-day matters.
But you could see it though in his eyes that he was like, he's happy that she's acting like that.
Yeah, he is.
A ref. Firebee? A ref. I don't know, because that's the first time I'm hearing of this word. Colossal is crazy.
Oshino! Was Oshino talking to her the whole time?
It caught me off guard because she called him a kid.
Well, for her, everyone's a kid.
Yeah.
So isn't she technically the new Oshino then? If he passed down all the knowledge?
What?
That's crazy.
That's why it's a ref B?
Oh my god, the fever is starting. So
that's because of the bee. And what are you supposed to do? She's still class president? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. How is he gonna do that then? If he's a con? Ooh.
Not even human. So Kaiki is kind of like some sort of apparition?
あいつに聞くしかねえ。お前の前で決まることはないか。カレンちゃん、どうやって収めればいいのか。お前ならカレンちゃんの病気。
Could you eat her disease?
Wouldn't that turn her in a vampire?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
But-
already spread.
But where's the bee now, though?
囲い火鉢への対処法までは喋ってはなかったか。
しかしなんせダラダラした話じゃったからの見つかるのは久しぶりじゃのかか400年ぶりくらいじゃの
真似できねえスケールだ。
That's a long time.
このような幼児の裸に興味津々とはお前様は神聖の変態か
He's not even trying to hide it.
お前様がそんな風に熱く見つめられて
I was thinking, when would they get to that part?
Yeah, I was like waiting for it.
想像してしまうの
Nothing
It
new.
was kind of weird that they weren't doing that.
で大声で家中に響き渡るほどの悲鳴を上げたとしたらさてどうなること
She can ruin his whole life, you know? Start screaming.
程度のことじゃお前様が口封じのために多量のドーナツを用意してくれよ
She's
It's her
blackmailing
weak
him.
spot.
につくのはやぶさかではないぞ
It's also my weak spot, Vanessa. Donuts? Are you serious?
僕とお前は一連卓勝だ。
I would sell you for two donuts, like.
ただでは済まないぞ。少なくとも二度とミスタードーナツは食えなくなるぜ。
カカ
Kaka.
少しは成長したと見えるな我が主様義は私の話を聞くんでしょ
She sees that? No!
I like how nonchalant she is.
And she closes the door silently. Not silently, but...
お兄ちゃんさっきの子は
さっきの子
What girl? What?
意味がわからんことを
What?
見間違いだったのかな
No fucking way. Dude, I can't believe this.
ようにしろい。やけに古風で偉そうな喋り方をする。
He's so specific. He's gonna rat himself out.
いない。
そっか
Why did she bring a knife? Is it for the girl or for him?
For him, obviously.
しても随分と長風呂だね
つうかノックくらいしろ。
今までそんなこと言ったことなかったじゃない無質になったからっていい気にならないでよね
I love their dynamic.
さすがにハラハラしたの過激な妹子じゃ
うるせえ。
あの小僧は言っておらんかったことじゃが意図的に隠しておったことじゃろうがお前様よいつ死ぬのじゃろうなお前様はほとんど人間じゃが同時にまた少しだけ吸血鬼を残しておるじゃろうはどうなっとるのかと思ってな
I've never thought about that.
Is he aging? Is he gonna age?
寿命は吸血鬼のままかもしれんぞっておるようじゃしなわしのごとく言わず500年くらい生きられるかも
Yeah, I don't know if he would want that.
友達も
Everyone's gonna die in front of his eyes.
みんなこぞって死んでしもうて消えてしもうてお前様とわしだけが残るわけじゃ
I guess she doesn't mind.
絆を築こうと時間がその絆を破綻させてしまうそう考えると指し物お前様でもうんざりするじゃろう
See how the whole scenery changed to like.
To black and just
Yeah.
a little bit of colors.
殺して今度こそかけのない人間に戻ってみるというのはいかがかな
Like to secure the fact that that's not gonna happen.
僕はお前を許さないし、お前は僕を許さない。この話は終わりなんだよ。続きも何もない。たちは死ぬまで生き続けるんだ。
He just accepted it.
So just let it to the flow, basically.
カレンよ祈ることじゃな我が主様天はよせ気まぐれじゃつぶしとしてお前様の影として付き従ってやろうが慣れ合うつもりはない即殺すぞ
I don't think
Oh.
he's buying it.
なし崩し的に和解した。
I don't know why I was not expecting Shinobu. I thought that she's gonna have like a part in the story a little bit later throughout the show. Yes, he was a little bit perverted and he was like looking at her in a weird way. But at the same time, for the most part, they were very comfortable with each other, just being naked around each other, you know, in the bath and everything.
I mean, she
It
is
genuinely-
anyway staring at him like
it genuinely
24/7.
feels like they're one entity.
In a way.
Yes. And he did say that we're basically one, which it does make sense. And I can see why they treasure each other so much. Like, they have such a deep-rooted bond. Like, you die, I die, you live, I live. Again, we're seeing Shinobu do that thing, which is, I feel like Shinobu is just that character that she doesn't appreciate her life. She doesn't want to live anymore.
I mean, she had enough.
Yeah, she's only living for Araragi at this point. So obviously, because she, I feel like, deeply cares about Araragi, she puts his needs and his wants as a priority. And she's not gonna go and act as if, you know, that's the case, but she's in somewhat way a tsundere, if you know what I mean. Like, she's acting all high and mighty, even though she calls him her master now, which is, you know.
Yeah, and also she's 100% lying. I don't think if Araragi ever let his guard down, she would like do anything to him.
And also, from my perspective, she just brought that subject about, you know, do you ever wonder when you're gonna die? Because she was trying to again bring the point that you should just kill me, you know, like her saying that to Araragi. You should just kill me so you could be human and you could be happy.
That's
right?
What she wanted to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Oshino gave them the way out that's like bad for everyone. It was really interesting how she said even though they can't forgive each other, that doesn't mean they can't like coexist. So I'm guessing we'll see a lot more from her. She will like play a bigger part in the story, and also the element that Oshino blabbered to her about every apparition all the time. Maybe she'll be like the replacement of Oshino in a way. So even though Oshino is like, you know, our like wise sensei, now we're gonna have the wise vampire who was forced to listen to him all the time.
Wise sensei. That would be cool though. It would make sense because obviously she was there for a long time and she could remember a lot of things, but at the same time.
And also she lived for so many years, so she definitely has a lot of experience
with some things.
So we need that figure in the show to kind of guide them in a way on how to deal with apparitions.
I feel like, I don't know, depends on how many cases Araragi gets involved with. If he gets involved with little amount of cases, then I feel like maybe that would be sufficient. Because we have Hanekawa, we have Araragi also has experience, we have Shinobu who has Oshino's knowledge to some extent. But I feel like if the whole show from now on continues about apparition after apparition, a girl after another girl and girl, then I feel like that's not gonna be enough. I don't want anybody.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't like been introduced to a new girl in a long time, so this might be the cast that we're stuck with for the rest of the show. Technically, like I could be wrong. They're introducing like kind of like villains now, like Kaiki.
I consider Karen and Tsuki introducing new girls.
No, you're right. I completely like. I meant like his school people.
But that's the thing, though. This arc currently is about like his sister Karen. Maybe next arc is gonna be about Tsuki. I don't know exactly, but I would assume that after that whole thing is gone, they're gonna start introducing more characters. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like the fun part, though.
I know, but that's what I'm telling you, that because.
But you're like sitting here complaining.
I'm not complaining.
Keeps growing his harem. Oh my god, no, bro, it's fun.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant that obviously. Then the whole issues, they're gonna expand and we will need somebody that's as experienced
well, maybe
as
it's gonna be more fun if we don't know and we have to figure it out.
And we just fail. Okay, so this part about
Karen, failing every day.
Can we talk about Karen, please? Because that part about Karen really got me confused. She got sent a Ref B,
just
whatever.
Say Fire B, man.
A Fire B from that guy, the fraud. And basically, this is the repercussions now. Those are the consequences that she's getting a fever because she was stung by that bee. But at the same time, where is this bee now? Is the bee an apparition?
Also, I just realized I said something very stupid. I said that wouldn't she turn into a vampire if Shinobu beat her, but she literally beat Hanekawa and she's not a vampire, so...
No, Shinobu, I feel like, needs to fully drain somebody from their blood for them to become a vampire.
She can't get rid of the problem by draining the energy. She also mentioned that, so they're gonna have to find a different way.
Yes, because the problem is just the consequence of what happened, which is the bee...
Also, they mentioned that Kaiki is a bit of an apparition. And they said that even though he's a con artist...
I feel like that's metaphorically. I don't think he's an apparition.
But even though... well, he's kind of like a monster, they said. But even though he is a con artist, they said that doesn't mean he's not skilled. Even though he's a fake, that doesn't mean he can't specialize in like...
It would make... No, because, yes, I could see that making sense. He does understand from the supernatural. He could help people, but instead decides to scam them because he knows how to scam them because he misunderstands from the supernatural.
Maybe he's the kind of guy to like inflict a problem on you and then sell you the solution.
That is true.
Maybe, I don't know.
But now they know that it was Kaiki who inflicted that on Karen.
So what would he like?
He doesn't gain anything
also,
from the situation.
Doesn't this mean he was also involved in the Sengoku incident?
Yeah. But what originally happened there? It was...
Well, some children that were like...
She rejected some guy, and then both the guy and the girl that liked the guy hated her for that, and that's how the curse originated.
How both? But how do those children know how to place curses or manifest curses?
Okay, back then when we were watching that arc with Sengoku, the way I understood it was they didn't understand from curses. It's because they felt such immense hatred towards her that a curse was formed. Because of all the negative thoughts they had towards her.
Yeah, maybe, but like they did
now we
mention
know that he's
involved with the curses in some way.
Yeah, so I don't know if he actually made the curse for them, like cursed her for them, or I don't quite understand yet how exactly. I know that he passed on that, and also like the way Karen found him in the first place was she was digging as into who was spreading those rumors.
Exactly, so he has to be involved somehow.
And she found him. So I don't know. I hope next episode clears out the the misconceptions that I've got, and obviously there's so much things happening, honestly. For an arc that's about Karen is the person that we've seen the least in that arc.
Understand. We understand now why the arc is called Karen B.
It is very unlike Bakemonogatari, because Bakemonogatari, each arc was about a specific girl, and I know that this arc is still about Karen, but it's just we found out a lot of things about a lot of characters. Hanekawa cut her hair. Shinobu is now herself and is talkative. Senjuga Hara is going into that protective mode. Sengoku is trying to seduce Araragi with all she's got. Kanbaru is just being Kanbaru,
in her
honestly.
own world, in her own boys' love world.
That's what I mean. And it's like episode 4, and I feel like this is where we're gonna start actually focusing on Karen.
Yeah. Also, guys, thank you for explaining Kanbaru's situation from like last episode with the boys' love stuff. So really appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but next episode we should get even more answers.
And also, I really like Tsuki. Who do you like more from the two sisters? I like Tsuki more.
I don't know. She was really funny how she brought in the knife.
Yeah,
that scene was hilarious.
That was so funny.
It was set up very nicely.
I thought maybe she meant that for Shinobu. Maybe she was like, overprotective
over
of her brother. Yeah.
Really? You think she was after like?
I feel like they're like a close-knit, family.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they don't express it like this. And that part like about the Tsuki-chan and Karen-chan, I feel like says it a lot. Because another thing that I wanted to add about that is when somebody in Japan is younger than you, you can call them whatever you want, right? You can call them Tsuki, you can call her Tsuki, you can call her Tsuki-chan, Tsuki-chin. I don't know exactly, but basically if somebody's younger than you, you can call them whatever you want. So he doesn't need to call them Tsuki-chan. But it's very cute, and it's very cute how he was like ashamed about it, embarrassed. He was cringing. But anyways, guys, if there's anything that you think that we misunderstood, make sure to correct us in the comments. We'd really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye!